What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a breakdown of a bunch of items worth grabbing before they're made unobtainable due to content vaulting. Of course, Bungie have recently outlined the next set of content that's going to be added to the content vault, and that'll be starting in February. And we don't have to worry too much about weapons and exotic gear, like armor and weapons, as they'll mostly continue to drop, but there are quite a few cosmetic items which may no longer be acquirable, so we'll jump in and take a look. But initially, Bungie have said that beginning on February 22nd, the Forsaken campaign and the Tangled Shore destination will enter the Destiny content vault. That won't include the Dreaming City, but it is going to include Year 4 seasonal content, including the Presage and Harbinger exotic missions. And importantly also, with the Tangled Shore going away, the Spider's currency exchange function will be taken over by Master Raoul in the tower. And that does leave us with a few bits of content worth bearing in mind. So, of course, the Forsaken story in general is going to go away. There's certainly some pretty strong nostalgia amongst Destiny 2 players. That was where we witnessed the death of Cayde 6. But also there was significant story with Mara Sov returning, the stuff that was going on in the Dreaming City, and those two destinations, Tangled Shore and Dreaming City, are absolutely awesome. And it is going to go free to play from early December until when it's removed on February 22nd. So I'd definitely hold off buying Forsaken and things like that at the moment if you are a newer player. But also, clearly it's going to be time to go and tell the Spider how much we appreciate all of those currency exchanges he's done for us over the past couple of years. But to talk more about the reward stuff, the Tangled Shore rewards are obviously going to be a pretty big thing. Weapons-wise, there aren't any absolute meta weapons to worry about, but you might want to flesh out your Tangled Shore weapon collection. And of course, separately, the Dreaming City weapons have been updated, and they're going to continue to drop. Do bear in mind though that the Mindbender's ambition is a drop from the Hollowed Lair Nightfall, and so that may no longer be obtainable whatsoever because the strike is actually going to be gone. Bungie did confirm though that the Warden of Nothing will stick around, so we won't need to worry about drops from there, and it looks to be the same for Forsaken exotics. They'll continue to either be world drops or come from the raid or dungeon content as they do right now. And so that leads us to some other totally unique drops which may be worth thinking about in case they don't get new drop sources. One of them would be the secret treasure emblem that players can earn inside of the Forsaken campaign. And so if you do run the Forsaken campaign, bear in mind the Mindbender mission is where you're going to be able to earn this, and it's actually unlocked at the end of the mission by going through an Ascendant portal and finding a key to open a door. I'll link a video down below if you want to check it out inside of the campaign. However, it's also possible to get the emblem by glitching into the space. So if you want to do that, you'll need to spawn into Thieves Landing in the Tangled Shore, and then follow the gameplay you can see on screen, taking a left immediately, and we're heading towards the giant hive ship in the Jetsam of Saturn. Once you get to this final room, it's worth clearing all of the ads out. And on one side of the room, you can see right here, there's a door with some hive runes, and your ghost may even show you that there's a chest hidden behind it. There's a pretty easy out of map that we can do to grab the chest though, so we jump up onto the ledge of the doorway here, and then jump up towards the middle of the ceiling. It's possible to actually get into this little gap, and we can run over the see-through floor. And at the end, you can make another left and actually go out of the map. You need to kind of carefully walk along these edges. You'll see this little doorway down below with a ledge that you can drop on top of. So we drop onto here, then drop down a couple more times onto some of the ledges we can see beneath us. It is possible to get underneath the chest and open it from under the floor. So that's one way to get the secret treasures emblem, which will likely no longer have a drop source once the Tangled Shore is vaulted. There are 3 other Tangled Shore emblems worth bearing in mind. So there is the Eye for an Eye emblem, and this one's accessed via the hit list triumph in the Forsaken Triumphs. and it requires us to kill all of the Tangled Shore Barons during the Forsaken campaign, so you'll pretty much get that one as a matter of course. There's another similar emblem called Wing of the Crow, and to get this you need to complete daily Tangled Shore bounties from the spider. The emblem has a pretty low drop rate when you complete them, so if it's something you really want to get, it may take a little bit of time. And finally there is the Untangled emblem, and this one drops when completing Tangled Shore activities. I believe that includes patrols, public events, lost sectors and everything like that, and the drop rate isn't too bad for that one. Another item that we can earn on the Tangled Shore would be Cade Sparrow. It's actually called the Gambler's Palm, and it is a pretty rare drop that can come from spider bounties on Tangled Shore, as well as the Hollowed Lair, and by killing some of the bosses inside of the Forsaken campaign. The problem with the Forsaken campaign element is that it's awkward to rerun it, right? However, if you can get to the Fanatic mission in the Forsaken campaign, it is farmable. So you essentially run the Fanatic mission, kill the Fanatic, then when you head to orbit and reload the mission, it actually drops you at a boss checkpoint, which is pretty useful. So you can also farm that in order to try and get the Sparrow dropped. Now a couple of seasonal drops right here. It's worth mentioning that the Harbinger and Presage missions are going away. And of course, Hawkmoon and Dead Man's Tail will still be able to be acquired, we assume, like other exotic weapons from quests and stuff like that. But a few of the unique drops from these activities include the Wings of Light emblem, and to get this we need to complete the Hunter-Killer Triumph, where we complete the Harbinger mission in the EDZ in under 15 minutes. So that one takes a little bit of effort. And there is also the Next Chapter emblem, and we can get this one from the Tale Told Triumph. That's in the Season of the Chosen section, and that one requires a Presage completion on Master difficulty. There are other unique drops like the Fourth Mark, and this one drops from the Coup de Grace mission from Season of the Hunt. It's possible to farm it inside of the mission by putting charges into the lure, then resetting the lure after the mission's actually begun. Of course, that allows us to run the mission again afterwards as many times as we'd like, because otherwise there is a weekly limit. But it's worth waiting at the end of the mission for it to actually return you to orbit, as this is when the drop tends to happen. And there's a cumulative drop chance for the exotic as well, so the more runs you do, the better. And waiting for that mission to clear is the best way to make sure that they are counted. Also, don't forget the Radiant Accipiter exotic ship, which is earned via the Harbinger mission. Once you've got the mission unlocked, Crow will have a quest called Bird of Prey, and it requires us to collect 100 paracausal feathers. And of course, these drop in encounters in the mission, but can also be collected from specific locations to speed things up. Once you have all of those, you can go and grab the exotic ship, which is pretty cool. And I'll link a video down below that has details on that, as well as locations for those feathers. There is also the Shell of Gilgamesh exotic ghost shell, and this one drops from the Presage mission as well. That one's done by uncovering all of the clues, and of course that stuff requires multiple completions, and is another item which, as far as we know, will no longer be obtainable once these pieces of content are removed and added to the Destiny content vault. So thought it'd be interesting to break some of those items down. It is possible that Bungie could add some of them to other drop sources in the future, but since some of these do take a bit of investment, I figured it's better to talk about them now than to wait for Bungie to give us that information, right? At least there's time to unlock some of these rewards before their sources are taken out of the game. So guys, if there are any other items that you can think of that are worth grabbing, definitely drop them down in the comment section and we can help each other out. If you've enjoyed the video today though, a rating down below really does help us out on the channel. And if you're new around here, be sure to get subscribed so I can keep you up to date with D2 content. But otherwise, for today, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you all very soon.